And thank you very much for attending what is going to be a unique ceremony. As we just said, the North Yorkshire High Chivalry has never ever appointed a fire services cadet. Bear in mind we're 1,000 years old. When King Alfred reigned, there was a High Sheriff covering this area, which is quite something to think about. We're also making history today in that this ceremony is being conducted virtually, which again, I think is a first. So, Chief Fire Officer Brodie, members of the Northallerton Fire Team, firefighters, friends, Mrs. Baxter, and the most important person here tonight, Samuel, I bring greetings from North Yorkshire Chivalry. I decided upon my year of office that I would appoint several cadets. Traditionally, a cadet has always been appointed from the police service, but I decided that I would appoint a fire services cadet, a British Transport Police cadet, and 2 police cadets, one from Cleveland and one from North Yorkshire, which are the areas which I cover. Because I felt that getting young people involved with the High Sheriff was very, very important. And when I come to look at the fire service cadets and the things that you try to achieve and the things that you want to do, it thrills me with nothing but passion and determination and real hope for our future. Because the fire service cadets for me are giving young people 5 or 6 clear opportunities. And Samuel, you have taken up those opportunities and you will benefit from them for the rest of your life. The first thing I think that the cadets do is that you learn new things in a very practical way, whether it's climbing ladders or unfurling hoses. But importantly, for the rest of your life, you will learn a key element in doing that. You will learn to work in a team. And my goodness, having had business experience, how I know that being an efficient member of a team is so very important. Secondly, it will build your confidence and give those young cadets confidence to do things perhaps you've never ever done before. And I hope that one of the things will be when you escort me on a particular visit or as my cadet, which will help build your confidence in the process. Thirdly, you are learning new skills, all sorts of new skills which will help you in your later life. And I was particularly interested to read that fire service cadets have the chance or the opportunity to do BTEC Level 2 award in fire and rescue service in the community. And I think that is incredibly commendable. Fourthly, and I think in our society, particularly as we are now, you have joined another family, Samuel. Your family is a family of firefighters. And as I know and understand, firefighters are a very, very close community. And I think they are very supportive people who do a tremendous service for the community. And I think it's something you will not forget for the remainder of your life. Fifthly, wow, what a CV you're going to have when you decide on a future career and a particular employer looks at that CV and says that you've excelled as being a fire services cadet. I, as a businessman, for me, that would tick very many boxes. So it's dramatically enhancing your CV. And finally, and the last thing that I think everyone must do in their working lives is to have fun. Yes, you have a clear opportunity and you have clearly things to learn as a fire cadet, but unless you are having fun, why do it? So I think those are the 6 things that will give you a better life. And I hope that being my High Sheriff's Cadet for the year of 2021 will actually add to that. And that you and I, together with 1 or 2 of the other cadets, will be able to take some visits and do some things perhaps together, which perhaps you never dreamed you would have the opportunity to do. Finally, I'd like to say to not only North Allerton firefighters, but to all the firefighters throughout North Yorkshire, we are in challenging and difficult times. You are frontline workers undertaking a key role. And I think the general public is eternally grateful for the role that you undertake. But you know, challenges are to be overcome. And despite all the things that we face, I believe particularly in Yorkshire, we have certain elements within our character and within our communities which will make sure that we win the day. Our true spirit of grit, enthusiasm, determination, passion, and just the bare necessity of the willingness to roll up your sleeves and get on and make sure the job is done will bring us through these hard times. So Samuel, it gives me tremendous pleasure, and I'm really sorry that I am unable to shake you by the hand heartily and pat you on the back, but maybe that will come at a later date. But it gives me great pleasure to be able to give you this appointment as High Sheriff's Fire Services Cadet for the year 2020-21. And here is the certificate which we will be depositing on your doorstep in due course. And thank you very much for undertaking the position.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Chief Fire Officer, would you like to say a few words?
I would love to. I would love to. Following you, High Sheriff, is a task in itself. But every word that you said resonates very strongly with me. There are a number of really important things that you brought up. First of all, I'll do the fire service bit during this crisis. We have responded brilliantly. People have been creative and adapted the ways that we deliver our services to maintain those services in these difficult circumstances. But really, we are just in support of the National Health Service and our local authorities for whom this is a real crisis. And we do all that we can to help them who are at the very heart of all of this. The words that you spoke about what cadets get from it as a result of being cadets also ring very, very true. It's a tough labour market out there, and for people to progress into the job that they would love to do and progress through that job is not straightforward. And if I take my own experience, back in the 1980s, I was where you are now, Samuel. I wasn't a fire cadet because that didn't exist, but I was a scout. And I went through my scouting career from Beavers to Cubs to Scouts, and rather than becoming a venture scout, became an assistant leader at a disabled scout troop in Glasgow. When I came for my interview in Cumbria Fire Service as a 19-year-old to get into the job, 15 minutes for a 25-minute interview was all about my scouting career. And I got into the fire service first time wondering why. But when I look back, had I somebody sitting in front of me wanting to be a firefighter who had come through that similar route that you are now through the fire cadets, I would employ me as well. And I dare say that in a couple of years' time, when you're going for your first jobs, you will be enormously more employable as a result of what you're doing in the fire cadets. Not just the fact that you're doing it, but those skills and attributes that you're gaining. And when people ask you to describe times that you've worked as part of a team or you've learned a new skill, you'll be able to regale them with stories of the fire cadets, and that will make you fairly unique. It will put you above most of the other candidates, if not all of them, and it could be the difference between you getting the job that you always have wanted and not getting that job. So stick in with the fire cadets, because it will, as the High Sheriff says, build your CV in a way that other things can't. And that brings me on to the fire cadets themselves. The whole premise of having that cadet scheme and what it achieves. But before I do that, it cannot operate without the cadets themselves and the people sitting behind you, like Adam, who put their own time, their own skill, their own effort into sharing what they have to you to help you to develop far better than you otherwise might be able to. It gives you a real opportunity. So thank you to all those cadet leaders and organisers and firefighters who take part in that. And then the fire cadets themselves. Well, what's that doing for society, and what's it? How does it become the Fire and Rescue Service's job to give activities to young people? Why is that our role when there are other organisations out there doing it? And it's what the cadet brings to the cadet scheme brings to society, because it gives young people something to do, distracts them from some of the activities that they might up to that they shouldn't. It gives them positive role models from a service like the fire service, which is got a real position in society, a real respect, the people and the organisation within society. And it's right that we use that to the best effect to help people have really good positive activities that help them to develop. So there's lots of data about reductions in antisocial behaviour, improvements in school performance and all that type of thing as a result of people's attitudes. And if I take that back into the fire service, tomorrow I will be interviewing for area managers. Today we ran via Teams an open event for group managers. And in all of those selections, I've said, it's not the technical ability that I'm most interested in. People will bring technical ability, and we will be able to develop them more in those technical fields. But what I'm looking for when I recruit and when I promote is people with the right values, the right ethos, the right attitudes, and the right approach. People who are kind, people who are considerate, people who work hard, people who help others, people who can deal with conflict, work as part of a team, learn new skills, help other people to learn new skills. And all of those things that I'm looking to bring into the organisation and promote within the organisation is exactly what we get from cadets and exactly what we help cadets to do. So I think, High Sheriff, what you have done in terms of bringing the fire service so closely to your tenure as High Sheriff is wonderful. We will be eternally grateful for that. And we are also working, for example, as High Sheriff and Chief Fire Officer with employers across North Yorkshire and City of York to encourage them to employ on-call firefighters and let their staff become on-call firefighters. That's one part of it. But this other part of it, encouraging youth into the High Sheriff's role, offering those opportunities that people simply don't normally get the opportunity to take part in, is just a wonderful gesture. But it will be much more than a gesture, because it will have real results. So thank you, High Sheriff, for offering us the opportunity to be so close to you in your year as High Sheriff. Thank you to the cadet leaders for running the scheme and offering us this opportunity in the first place. But finally, and thanks most of all to Samuel for being such a credit to yourself, such a credit to Northallerton cadets, North Yorkshire Fire Cadets in general, and more broadly than that, North Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service. You epitomise everything that we look for in good people, and it's a credit to you and to your family that you're the person who's been put forward to take on this role. It's going to be an odd one at the moment with COVID-19, but we trust that as time moves on through the next year, there will be great opportunities for us all to get together in real time and in the same place to really drive this forward. But thank you to you, Samuel. Congratulations to you. I really look forward to us working together really closely with our High Sheriff in the next 12 months.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Fire Officer. I think that hopefully this is the beginning of a much closer relationship, and I will finish my remarks by saying this, that is, if there is anything that any firefighter feels that I can do to enhance the position of the fire service, then I am here at your disposal. I will do whatever I can in the year of office to enhance the fire service, and I think to promote it if I can, because I think it's very important that it is promoted to areas like business to get more people involved. It's interesting that one thing I did forget to say at the beginning is that, Samuel, this is the oldest position bestowed by Her Majesty in the UK. As I said, we're here over 1,000 years old. So we are breaking history and going virtual for the first time. We are breaking history by appointing a fire services cadet. So, you know, let's celebrate that fact. And although we can't be together now, I think later in the year we will be. And I will certainly be making some offers to you. And if you can help me with them, fine. If you can't, if it doesn't fit, that's not a problem. But I think we can really promote the fire service and do some really good things together. So thank you all for coming to this little ceremony tonight. And with the fire service's permission, we will be issuing a press release tomorrow, if that's okay, because I think we really want to make the most of the opportunity that we can. So thank you all very much for coming tonight, and keep well, take care, and hope to see you all soon. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, Sheriff.